If the prospect of money keeps you awake at night, it's likely because your mind is working against you instead of in your favor. By shifting your thinking, you can free yourself from the relentless pursuit of wealth. Instead, you will find that wealth starts to gravitate toward you. The biggest misconception you have been led to believe is that money is a direct result of hard work alone. There's a belief that if you grind long enough, endure enough hardship, and sacrifice enough, the world will eventually reward you. Yet, I'm here to share a deeper truth, one that many people will never grasp, simply because they are too caught up in a cycle of repetitive thoughts and actions. The journey to wealth begins in your mind. It is not merely determined by the hours you put in, the sweat you shed, or the effort you exert. Your financial reality is fundamentally influenced by your mindset. Until you truly internalize this truth, you will continue to pursue money, only to have it slip through your fingers like so much sand. If you wake up each day fixating on what you lack, what you fear, what you cannot afford, you are inadvertently programming your life to mirror that scarcity. Remember, the mind is not a passive observer. It is the architect of your destiny. Every thought you nurture and every belief you hold serves as a blueprint for the life you create. Living in a mental state of scarcity will reflect outwardly in your life's circumstances, leading to unpaid bills, missed opportunities, and ongoing struggles. In contrast, a person who trains their mind to perceive opportunity instead of obstacles, to see potential rather than problems, becomes a magnet for abundance. It's essential to recognize that money is not merely a form of currency. It represents energy and flow, and it is attracted to clarity. If your mind is cluttered with fear, doubt, and confusion, you will actively repel the very success you claim to desire. However, when you align your thoughts with abundance, confidence, and vision, the dynamics shift dramatically. Opportunities will surface, people will take notice, and when you speak, others will listen. Not out of desperation, but because you unapologetically command your rightful place at the table. Do not allow your past, your circumstances, or your background to dictate your future. What truly matters is your mindset as you move forward from this moment on. The individual who thrives is not necessarily the one who had an early advantage. It's the one who chooses to think differently. By rewriting their internal narrative, replacing doubt with belief, confusion with purpose, and fear with unwavering faith in themselves, they build empires, not through luck or chance, but through relentless decision-making backed by an unshakable mindset. So, if you find yourself stressed about your financial situation, stop fixating on jobs that pay more or seeking shortcuts that promise quick relief. Instead, ask a far more empowering question. What version of myself must I become in order to attract wealth effortlessly? Because until your mental framework is aligned correctly, no amount of income will ever feel satisfactory. You'll risk losing it, fearing it, or pursuing it endlessly. Yet, when your mind is anchored in purpose, belief, and vision, money becomes a mere byproduct of the person you've developed into. The world does not reward your effort alone. It compensates you for the power of your thoughts. Change your mindset, and the money will follow, a guarantee every single time. Understand that poverty does not originate in your wallet. It begins in your mind. Before a person struggles to pay their bills or feels overwhelmed by debt, the real battle has already been lost within. You can't remedy your financial condition until you first confront your mental state. which is where many people falter. They attempt to fix external issues without mastering their internal landscape. Fear acts as the silent architect of failure. It creeps in quietly, spreading insidious lies that cloud your judgment and control your actions, often without your realization. It convinces you to settle, to delay, to wait. And every day you comply, your dreams drift further out of reach. Poverty is not merely a lack of money. It is a chronic condition of doubt, fear, hesitation, and indecision. Until you uproot these weeds from your mind, no amount of financial gain will provide salvation. Consider this. Two individuals may stand in identical situations, facing the same economy, resources, and opportunities. One perceives defeat, while the other sees possibility. One person complains, while the other creates. The distinguishing factor is not their environment, education, or luck, but rather their mentality. One has succumbed to fear, surrendering their power, while the other commands their mind to operate with faith. Faith in themselves and in what is possible. Because of this shift, the second individual attracts wealth, while the first sinks deeper into survival mode. You must cease letting fear dictate your path. Worrying about your financial state does not increase your wealth. It diminishes it. It constricts your vision, tightens your spirit, and breeds desperation. And desperation, my friends, is the quickest route to repelling opportunities. No one wishes to follow someone who trembles within. No investor, client, or business partner will place their faith in a person who doubts their own abilities. Your first step towards success is to master your internal world. This is the foundation of every fortune. When you begin to believe that your destiny is greater than your current circumstances, you unlock a power that is rarely experienced. You start to move, speak, and act with intention and energy, and people will respond. Opportunities will emerge, and money will gravitate toward certainty, not arrogance, but clarity. Clarity develops when you annihilate fear and replace it with decisions. Thus, the vital question shifts from how can I generate more income to how can I conquer the fear that keeps me trapped in financial scarcity. Once you eliminate fear from your thoughts, language, and choices, you will notice something remarkable. You no longer have to pursue success. It will start to come to you because you embody the very essence required to handle it. That's the transformation. Poverty may surround you, but it no longer resides within you. This is the moment when everything begins to change. The individual who becomes wealthy is not someone who evades pressure. Rather, they are someone who thrives under it. In fact, pressure is not your adversary. It is your proving ground. It is the crucible that reveals your character, separating those who are truly prepared from mere pretenders. Anyone can exude confidence when the skies are clear, when bills are paid, and life is easy. Yet only a select few rise to the occasion when burdens increase, and the world seems to conspire against them. Those exceptional individuals are the ones who create legacies. Keep in mind that success does not come to those who shy away from discomfort. It flows to those who confront it head-on and remain focused and sharp despite the chaos around them. When the average person succumbs to panic, the disciplined individual makes thoughtful decisions. While others complain, the successful person calculates their next moves. Instead of waiting for a miracle, they become the force that manifests extraordinary outcomes. This distinction between poverty and prosperity is not about luck or timing. It revolves around who you choose to be when the heat of life intensifies. You can never exceed your capacity to handle pressure. If you find stress overwhelms you, you are likely not ready for greater challenges. However, once you shift your perspective to see pressure as your training ground rather than a prison, you begin to rewrite your narrative. You stop running. You cease making excuses. You recognize every trial as a test and approach it with determination to succeed. Do you aspire to lead? Then step up when others are lost. Do you desire wealth? Then earn it by standing tall when everyone else shrinks away. The world does not reward emotions. It rewards execution. It does not compensate effort. It rewards results. Results are born from those who can maintain calm in chaos and act with conviction when others pull back. Pressure will not dismantle you unless you allow it. In reality, pressure is a gift. It exposes your weaknesses, not to humiliate you, but to help you improve. It instructs you on what needs attention, building mental strength along the way, and pushes you toward a higher version of yourself. The individual who embraces pressure, who refuses to be broken by it, becomes unshakable, formidable, and wealthy. This wealth encompasses not only financial gain, but also discipline, purpose, and strength. You must shed the victim mindset every time life gets tough. Instead, let hard moments serve as signals for you to push back harder. When life begins to crumble, that's your chance to demonstrate resilience. Once you prove to yourself and the world that you cannot be swayed, that you will not shatter, and that your mind will remain resolute despite external pressure, only then will life start to reward you with the abundance reserved for the exceptional. Those who lead, dominate, and make definitive choices. Understand that money does not respond to effort alone. It answers to identity. Your income reflects your inner worth, not merely your external endeavors. The truth is, the world compensates you based on what you believe you deserve. If you perceive yourself as small, you will live small. If you see yourself as ordinary, you will earn accordingly. However, when you elevate your internal standards and demand more from yourself, the world must acquiesce to your authority. Observe the individual struggling financially. They are not lacking in intelligence, time, or opportunities. What they lack is belief. Belief in their own value, belief in their voice, belief that they are worthy of abundance. When they fail to see their inherent worth, they act accordingly. They settle for less, apologize for their ambitions, and speak softly when life demands a bold declaration. Money recognizes weakness and avoids uncertainty. It flows toward those who are self-assured in their value. Self-worth is not something you earn after finding success. It forms the very foundation of success. If you desire more, you must first become more. You cannot outsmart the system or fake your identity. The energy you exude speaks volumes before you even open your mouth, and the world reacts correspondingly. Carry doubt, and you will invite rejection. Carry fear, and you will attract delays. But when you enter every situation with an understanding of your value, with knowledge that you have something significant to offer, with the belief that you are destined to rise, life will begin to favor you. No one will pay you more than you are willing to demand from yourself, not through arrogance, but through certainty, presence, and discipline. Acknowledging your worth means you do not chase opportunities, you choose them. You do not wait on permission. You act with purpose and create value born from your self-recognition. And this internal perspective catalyzes powerful external changes. Money transforms into a byproduct of your self-esteem, rather than a relentless pursuit. Raise your standards. Stop settling for less due to fears of taking risks. Abandon playing small to ease the discomfort of others. Start approaching life as someone who knows they rightfully belong at the top. Every thought, each word you articulate, every decision you make, casts a vote for the life you are building. If you persist in behaving as someone who doubts their potential and feels unworthy, do not be surprised when your outcomes reflect that energy. However, when you choose to embody a higher version of yourself and refuse to entertain thoughts of inadequacy, when you walk as if you are already wealthy in spirit, the universe responds. People notice. Opportunities materialize. Money flows toward you as you navigate through life with the certainty that comes from realizing your innate worth. Ultimately, you will never experience true freedom until you accept complete responsibility for your own life. This doesn't mean that everything is your fault. It signifies that every challenge is your problem to solve. This is the essence of leadership, power, and freedom. The moment you recognize that no one is coming to rescue you, that no one owes you anything, and that you alone are in control of your destiny, you become formidable. You stop waiting for change. You stop hoping for circumstances to improve. You take action, not from a place of reaction, but from a well of intention. The individual who masters this mindset constructs a life that inspires admiration, yet remains incomparable. Most people shy away from taking complete control of their circumstances. They prefer the safety of blame. Yet blame is the language of the weak. Ownership is the tongue of winners. Winners don't complain or wish away their troubles. Instead, they act with purpose and precision. If your bank account is low, it's not the fault of the world. If your life lacks meaning, it's not due to external factors. It arises from allowing life to dictate your path rather than seizing control for yourself. You hold the power to design a new future, and it begins with the moment you look in the mirror and proclaim, "Everything changes when I do." This isn't just motivational rhetoric, it's stark reality. Nothing changes until you change. Nothing transforms for you until you initiate that change within yourself, starting with your mindset, your habits, your associations, and your decision-making processes. This is where your freedom resides, not in luck, shortcuts, or external validations, but in unwavering ownership. Total, relentless ownership. The kind that builds not just wealth, but power and legacy. Beginning now, not at some distant point in the future. Discipline serves as the invisible connection between who you are today and who you aspire to be. It's not about talent, luck, or fleeting motivation. Motivation wanes. Talent without structure diminishes. But discipline, daily, consistent, and relentless, is the driving force that differentiates the dreamer from the doer, the aspirant from the achiever, the hopeful from the successful. Until you learn to master this force, your full potential will remain locked away behind a wall built from your own excuses. If you desire freedom, earn it. Freedom does not visit those who are lazy or inconsistent. It only reveals itself to those who show up, day in and day out, regardless of whether it's convenient or challenging. The individual who builds wealth, power, and legacy isn't necessarily the most gifted. Instead, they are the most disciplined. They make decisions and honor their commitments. Their emotions do not dictate their effort. In the end, riches come not from sporadic efforts, but from unwavering consistency. Embrace the path that leads to true freedom. The journey requires ownership, discipline, and the audacity to confront life as it is, turning challenges into triumphs. The man who excels is the one who recognizes that he has the power to shape his own destiny. And it all starts here, right now, with you. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more motivational content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.